This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, and Dylan C. Now we're really excited because we have a new executive producer who is joining our team. So thank you so much to Hannah Green. We're really excited to have your continued support and for you to be on this journey with us. Now, before we get into things today, we want to thank a few people who renewed their annual pledge over at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. So thanks again for your continued support to David Barkle, Shane Christie, and C.D. Harris. And a special thank you to Zachary, who renewed their annual pledge for the second year in a row. Thank you so much. We really, truly appreciate it. We also want to thank Timo Horvath and Thomas Apicella to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. New patrons are so fun. We love to have you, and we really, truly could not do this without you and your support. In this episode, we're talking about Chapter 8 of Knife of Dreams.
Yeah, Chapter 8 is Dragon's Eggs.
That's right, yeah.
The coolest chapter title, I think.
Oh, really?
Probably, in the series for me up to this point.
Oh.
When I saw it, it's like, oh, what? Kind of crazy? Because, I don't know, I feel
thought
like...
it was kind of, a little wimpy.
Wimpy? Oh,
I don't know. It was
okay.
it's too cheesy almost.
What? I love... okay, but when we get into it, I love Aludra so much because of this.
Okay, and now I do have a question because I thought that dragons weren't a thing in this series.
Sure.
Or in this world.
Okay.
Currently.
Yeah.
So why is Aludra dragons for sure breathe fire, and these are called dragons that shoot fire?
Well, I mean, hey, myth fades to legend and all that, but the dragon symbol is on the dragon banner.
Yeah, but nobody knew what it was.
Rand.
They're weird serpent with legs.
Yeah.
They didn't even have a word for that creature.
Well, maybe that's how the myth comes to be, is her dragons are the fire-breathing monsters that destroy armies. Right? That's literally, that's the whole point of the series.
I might accept that a little bit. Or maybe Illuminators have something about dragons. That was my biggest question around here. Because I was like, what?
Yeah, okay.
Plot hole.
No, not a plot hole. Not even close. No way. Get out of here.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, and I figured that since when we first initially found out what Aludra was up to back in Winter's Heart, I did a fun fact on cannons because it was we got to find a bell founder and all that.
Yeah.
So I figured it'd be appropriate to do a follow-up fun fact on cannonballs.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you say it like that because that's what you yell when you jump in a pool?
Exactly.
Okay.
We're talking about the destructive type, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I for sure remember your fun fact on cannons, so...
Good.
So good thing that I for sure know that you did that, and I didn't think this, was going to be cannons.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Phew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We covered that already.
Okay, but cannonballs is going to be different and new.
Yes. Cannonballs are what you put in to the cannon.
Okay.
The dragon's eggs, if you will.
I understand.
Okay.
I understand that. I know that part.
Yeah, I just, I don't know what you know sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, typically, for what people know as cannonballs, they were usually made of stone, and then later they were made of cast iron, and the non-explosive type of cannonballs were also known as round shots.
Oh, because they're just sort of destroy the side of your boat. That's what I'm thinking. You know the ones that, you shoot out the side of the boats? Like Pirates of the Caribbean style?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I got some information on that, too.
Okay, sorry. I'm taking over.
Jumping ahead here.
No, I'll let you talk now.
Yeah, so the cast iron cannonball, so a little bit better engineered one, was actually made by a French artillery engineer, and it was apparently devastating to traditional English castle walls.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's the direct impact and would literally crumble castle walls.
Sure, yeah.
Very good invention, but also very effective against wooden ships and people too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It
so
blow people right apart.
Launching iron balls at people or stone balls.
Yeah.
So they were so effective that a new style of fortifications was invented called a star fort or a bastion fort. So if you think like the older style, imagine like high, tall walls, maybe like square shaped or up on a hill.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like traditional castle shape. And with a cannon, you basically launch a ball directly perpendicular at the wall and it collapses it. But with a star fort, it's literally in a star shape. It makes it really hard to get that perpendicular strike. So they had to invent this new type of castle wall to help defend against like cannon fire.
Okay.
It's actually kind of cool. There's like a lot of history, and apparently Michelangelo helped implement them too. Now, there are a few different styles of cannonballs, but I just want to highlight a couple of them. So the ones that would be used against wooden structures and ships that were susceptible to fire, they would actually heat the cannonballs up till it's red hot and then fire it at the ships.
Ooh.
And they were called heated shots or hot shots.
Hot shot!
Yeah, but
Fun.
apparently there's a lot of contention in the hot shot universe
Oh my.
about the etymology of the term hot shot.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it either does or does not come from the heating up of the heated shots and firing them at ships.
Right.
So it's either yes or no, that's where it comes from.
Okay.
Yeah.
No definitive answer there.
No.
This reminds me of the controversy of the pie versus the hand pie or the pasty.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, such
a
controversy.
lot of controversy.
Yeah, okay, got
so
it.
Either it did or it did not come from that. Or something like similar, like a gunshot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, anyways. Then, the exploding shot, which is a little bit of what Aluja's talking about here too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So the blow-uppy ones, so those came around pretty early on too, and they were made by filling hollow cast iron balls with gunpowder, and then you light the fuse before you fire it out of the cannon, but apparently they were very dangerous to handle, and they would sometimes explode prematurely, or they'd get jammed in the cannon and then explode, so limited functionality with the exploding ones.
Yeah.
So we gotta be careful.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay, I thought there was going to be a bigger connection to China.
Well, I mean, gunpowder.
Yeah.
That was the cannons. We cover that.
Oh.
We did all that. I did like the history of cannons, and it is.
Okay.
It is gunpowder in China.
Because
Yeah.
that's where like fireworks.
Yeah.
With the alchemists and.
If you want to go
all
listen,
that.
chapter 15, 16 of Winter's Heart, I did all that stuff already.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds interesting though.
I think it was. I thought it was.
Oh my. Okay, so let's get into chapter 8. It's one chapter, but it's actually quite long.
Yeah, we have like a bunch of different segments of things happening here.
We have acts.
We do.
As
yeah.
I would like to. Like, there's different acts. It's like a 3-act play.
Yeah. Yep, a little bit.
We have different events that happen that don't seem related to each other.
They don't, but they're all here together. And that
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense for the chapter symbol a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we get dragon's eggs. Oh, I'm doing your job now.
Oh,
geez.
yeah, okay, well, yeah, chapter 8 is called Dragon's Eggs,
Yeah.
and the chapter symbol is the Avendasora leaf.
Yeah.
Which we haven't had in a long time, but now I assume that's for the Tinkers.
That would make sense, I guess.
Or,
Yeah.
alternatively, the mother who marries Baal Domin,
That's true, too.
because the Avendasora leaf was for Nynaeve when she was wisdom.
Yeah.
So,
There was also the controversy because there's like two different Avendasora leaf symbols. And one's like pretty, like strictly to Eye of the World and stuff.
right.
So,
And then there were like way gates.
yeah, it's a little wonky, but anyways. And that's that's like a middle act. Like, that happened kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. No, that's Act 1.
Okay.
The marriage, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, the marriage thing and the whole tent shifting, that's Act 1.
That's part of Act 1, okay.
Yeah, that's like soft introduction.
Sure.
We're like, what's gonna happen? Learn some things about some side characters, that's all.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do it.
Alright. Now, we're sticking with Matt in his perspective, and it's the day after the whole shenanigans with the Aes Sedai and the Shanshan soldiers causing trouble at the gates.
Yeah.
And we learn that we are not staying here for several days, like Luca intended.
Mhm.
We are packing up before dawn, and we are getting the F out of Dodge.
Yeah, and there's like a little bit of backstory too, because it's kind of interesting. Back when Luca's show was still very, very small, because I think Petra kind of goes on like a big rant. And back in the day, they would have left immediately after the soldiers like had gone away. They would have started packing up right then. The fact that he stayed an entire night until the next day, I mean, that just goes to show that they are growing and expanding too. So
Right. Well, yeah, and the reason that they're leaving is because yeah, those soldiers aren't allowed to come back, but their buddies who are allowed to come back are now gonna be angry.
Yeah. Looking for some
revenge.
Some payback.
A little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, not a good situation. So, they're packing up and leaving.
Oh, and Matt is not packing up because the best part about having money is not the things you can buy, but it's the fact that you can pay people to do things for you.
Oh, yeah.
Like do your packing.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that's what's happening right now.
Can we pay someone to do our packing this weekend before we leave on our 2-week camping trip?
You could pay me to do it.
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
Oh, no. No, and I'm way too controlling, actually.
Yeah.
There is no way I'm giving up my lists.
Yeah.
No. This is where full Naive comes out. This weekend for me in packing. But I digress. Now, we're back to Matt, who's going to ride up beside the Aes Sedai wagon, and he can feel that there's channeling going on inside, and he hates that, but there's not much he's going to do about it.
Yeah.
And then he's also going to intentionally not ride with Tuon, even though he kind of wants to. He doesn't really want to come across as eager, and, like, that's a whole situation.
Yeah, you got to play hard to get, right? That's a strategy.
It's a whole thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it feels kind of recap-y. But
a little bit.
We know.
Yeah.
We know, Matt.
Yeah.
Goodness. Okay.
But I do find it nice that Matt, he wants Tuon to get to see him as, like, more than just what she's calling him, which is toy.
Yeah.
Right? He wants to build this, like, relationship with her.
Yeah. I have a theory later.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
I remember to get to it.
Yeah, he wants her to respect him. And right now, she hasn't really seen him do much, I suppose.
Okay, I'm going to say my theory now, because I think I'm just going to forget.
Yeah,
we're going to go off on a million tangents, and I'm not going to remember to talk about it again.
Okay.
And I didn't write it down. So, my theory with that whole thing, because we do get a moment later, which now I'll remember to talk about. Our moment later is when Tuon looks genuinely concerned for Matt at one point, and I had a thought that that's what's going to push her over the edge with the whole marriage thing and with the calling him toy and whatever. I think there'll be a moment where maybe he's in, like, some kind of danger. Like, not real danger, but she'll be really worried for him.
Okay.
And be like, Matt, or something like that.
Like, I actually care about you or something?
Yeah, but then she'll call him by his name.
Oh, okay.
In a moment of, like...
Yeah.
Oh, I actually care about you, and she'll, like, forget to call him toy or something.
Oh, I like it.
That's my theory coming up for that.
Okay.
But we can, I don't know, talk about maybe a little further when we get to that moment, because I was like,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I like it. He wants that mutual respect.
Right. And that comes after, like, a whole, like, the third act trying to escape, but not really.
Sure.
We're not really sure what happened there, just, like, for funsies. She's nuts.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Okay.
That's obvious.
But we're still in Act 1, and we're still slowly moving.
Mm-hmm.
And now Matt is still hopeful that we're going to move a bit faster because of this threat of the Shanshan. But no, absolutely not. We stop, like, literally the same afternoon.
Yeah, it's like they travel in the morning
and
time.
And we're setting up near a village that has, like, 4 inns.
Yeah, it's, like, so not very
big enough.
Yeah. It's not Salttown money.
No.
So Luca's a little bit upset about that, but...
And, like, the village mayor and the innkeepers and the wisdom that are all here, they get in for free.
Yeah, they had to, like, negotiate. There's a whole thing about...
like, nobody wants them set up here or something? I don't know.
Well, not really, because Val and Luca kind of goes on this whole, like, ooh, strangers. Strangers are always going to try to rob you, right? And, you know, these country bumpkins are always going to try and rob you.
So you got to make it worth their while.
Well, and the same from the townsfolk's perspective. It's like, oh, these are strangers, and we don't really want strangers near us, but I guess, but all of our inner circle is going to get in for free, and that's the whole... We actually get the introduction, too, that there is the Mother Darvale.
Yeah.
Darvale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is, like, hinted now, who comes back later for the whole marriage thing, so...
Well, that's off screen.
It is.
It's off page.
Yeah, it is. Did you really need to...
No, absolutely no. 100%
no.
Unless we were in, like, Agiana's perspective, and it was the prologue.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But otherwise, no.
Like a real quick one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
That does not feel main plot, main stuff, but it was fine the way it was.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about the way it was written.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And we get one of these, like, time lapses where we know that they travel for a few days, and then in the next section of the next act or whatever of this chapter, we're going to go back and find out what happened during those days of travel. Because Matt thinks...
is that what happens
here? Because
okay.
Matt thinks, the travel that we're doing is happening in very small segments. So we travel for like a morning for a couple hours, we stop. And then the next day we go a little bit more and then we stop. Next day we do a little bit more and then we stop.
So they set up their whole show every day, like take down and set it up every day? Or is it like half set up? Or are we actually setting the whole show up every day? I'm just confused by this whole travel idea.
Yeah, I don't know enough about traveling circuses, but I have to assume that there's like a hard setup version where it's like, this is if we're staying for a long time, it's more setup, right? And then there's like a soft setup version where it's like, we're stopping out of town, so let's get most of our stuff set up so we can make some money and then pack up for the next day.
I see.
I would have to assume it's something like that.
Okay.
But again...
Seems like a lot, you know?
I don't know enough about... Well, if everyone does their part, right?
I guess so.
Then it's not so bad.
I guess. It's still... I don't know. I don't quite get it, but that's okay.
I
don't get probably about, I'd say, 45% of what's happening in these books.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need to learn more about traveling circuses.
Well, not really, because the things that I don't get are not even remotely important to the plot, and my understanding...
Hey, now, the first time you were introduced to Val and Luca's circus, did you think we'd still be with the circus?
Kind of.
In Knife of Dreams, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of thought we would get back to the circus.
You should have done your research like 2 years ago then.
I know. I really liked the circus plot, so I'm here for it. Like, I'm not mad at it. It's just goes on a long time.
It does.
That's
okay.
all.
So let's do a backup now.
Okay.
Backtrack. Is this a second act yet, I guess?
No.
Not yet?
No,
okay.
no. We're just like... We're still in Act 1. I don't know anything about plays. What am I even talking...
No, we don't know enough about this.
Act 1, Scene 2.
Okay, beautiful. I love it.
I read Shakespeare once.
Totally.
Yeah.
In, like, high school.
Oh, for sure, high school. Yeah. I've read a couple plays since then. I read The Cursed Child.
That doesn't count. No way does that count.
As a shot, you mean? Or just like it doesn't count as reading a play?
Both.
You're right. It doesn't count for either of those things. Although, when I was reading this chapter, I did think to myself, ooh, I have a Harry Potter reference. But I don't remember what it was when I was reading it, and I didn't write it down.
Okay.
So, 50-50 on whether or not it comes back to me while we're recording.
Okay. All right. Well, I heard J.K. Rowling never even read a play before she wrote one either.
Actually? Did she admit to that? Or are you just making a joke?
I mean, the joke about, like, she's never read fantasy before.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're all original ideas.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Okay. I'm not taking a shot. I'm not doing it. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Someone else can for me if they want. But I might remember the thing that I thought of before once.
Okay.
Okay.
I hope you do.
Okay, so without thinking about the timeline too hard, at one point, Matt approaches Aludra, I think the first night.
Yeah, sure.
So he does sneak into her tent, kind of.
It's like an enclosure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like
nobody's allowed in there because of, secrets.
Yeah.
But this is where they're going to have an entire conversation about Matt figuring out about lofting tubes and like why she wants a bell founder.
So if you recall, last episode, Matt was thinking to himself, okay, I think I know what she wants the bell founders for, but what I figured out doesn't actually make a lot of sense.
Right.
And that kind of makes sense for what he says here. He says lofting tubes, that's why you want a bell founder, so you can make lofting tubes out of bronze.
But he can't figure out why.
Yeah, because right now with the lofting tubes, they're like wooden.
Yeah.
Right? And then he's thinking, okay, well, you want a bell founder to make big bronze ones, but that doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense.
Because nobody can lift them up. They're like too heavy. You would need some kind of hoisting mechanism or wheels or something.
Yeah, you need like something to do it, because right now you can get around with like just lifting them and moving them around, but anything bigger and heavier is going to be way more difficult. And then what's the point? Right.
And Aludra's like, you're kind of clever. You're not just a pretty face, turns out. You did figure it out.
Sort of.
She kind of tries to change the subject and is like, stop talking to me. You're already juggling 2 women, and I won't be juggled.
Well, because if you recall...
They made out a bunch.
Yeah, like not once. Even that...
Yeah.
It seemed like more than... It's at least a little bit.
Well, they made out a little bit.
Yeah.
For sure. But Matt's like, I'm long over that. Don't you worry. Don't you worry at all.
Phew. Okay, we're all cool.
But he keeps on about the bronze tubes making weapons.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, duh. That's the idea.
Yeah, and this is kind of where Eludra, like, launches into the explanation. We get, like, official confirmation. Yep, we're for sure going for cannons, which is basically the only thing it could have ever been.
Without pretty colors, just the blow-up-y bit.
Yeah, because then she goes into the explanation like, hey, currently with the wooden lofting tubes, you can send a night flower, like a firework, up 300 paces in the sky.
Yep.
And then you could get it further than 300 paces if you angle it. Right, that makes sense. You could send it even further.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember that game Artillery?
Yeah, of course I do.
That's what this makes me think of.
100%.
You gotta change the angle to change how far the
and then your
cannon
power.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had, like, different, like, little weapons you could choose if you wanted to get really advanced.
Oh, I don't remember that
There's,
part.
like, a tanks game.
I played it on, like, Windows 95.
There was, like, a tanks... there was a thing, though. But anyways, and then she goes into the explanation like, hey... If you have a tube that's made of bronze, you could send something that's much smaller but much heavier and made of iron and then blows the fuck up at something or someone.
Yeah, you know that artillery game? You were trying to blow up a castle.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
the one I was thinking
I played the tanks one where you have to blow up the other tank who's firing back at you.
Yeah, no, mine is a cannon that you shot at a castle.
Nice, okay.
I think, anyway. But anyway...
There you go.
Okay, this is actually kind of interesting because this is where she tells him that she's going to call them dragons and that she's going to call the cannonballs dragon eggs and she's going to get back at the Shanshan for destroying the Illuminators.
Yeah.
Because she's the guild now.
She is, and she says the Shanshan will howl when my dragons bite. I love it. It's so fun.
Which I call a little bit of BS.
Really?
At, like... Thinking about dragons as an animal, like knowing the name of them, knowing that they're gonna bite, knowing they're ferocious, like I'm pretty damn sure we know that dragons are not an animal that people know in this age.
Yeah, but there's also the Dragon Reborn who hurls fireballs, and this is her version, and that's what Matt kind of starts thinking about. No. Okay, because you can call BS, but I'm going to give you some actual, like, justification for this, too.
The Dragon Reborn is not the same as a dragon. Because dragon eggs, like, you have to know it's a reptile that's going to lay eggs.
They're like little balls. Everyone's seen, like, little lizard eggs before. Come on. Now you're just trying to make it not work.
But no, I am not. Because she would have to know so many things about the animal that is a dragon.
Well, so here's the thing. Dragon's not a real animal anyways.
No, but I know, but people don't even know what the symbol on the flag is.
I figure it's a dragon. It's a dragon symbol. It's a dragon.
Like
anyways, more importantly, let's move past that.
I wonder how many people agree with me or
Nobody.
think I'm just nuts.
You're just nuts. No one agrees. Everyone loves this. This is everyone's favorite chapter.
I'm sorry.
Shut up. No, I don't want to hear it.
I'm sorry that you love this and I am skeptical.
No one wants to hear your opinion. Okay, so...
Everybody wants to hear my opinion. That's why I have a microphone in front of my face.
Now I'm going to take it away from you. Okay, disparaging my dragons and my dragon eggs. Okay.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Are you mad at me?
No, I want to get back on track here.
Okay.
So, Matt... He's got a very good, like, battle tactics mind, and he is envisioning how this is going to play out on the battlefield, and he thinks, like, functionally, it's going to be as good. If you have, like, a ton of these things, it's going to be as good or better than having Aes Sedai, because Aes Sedai can't do shit if they're not in danger.
Right.
But you can launch these, like, I think we get, Eludra says, like, oh, we could launch them, like, a mile or something, like, really far.
Yeah, we get...
Like, crazy distance, and then it's better than having Asherman, too, because they're just going to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But if you have control of the dragons, then...
and because you can launch them at an army before they even know you're there.
Yeah.
Right? But then he thinks about the negatives, which are if they come up behind you, or if they know you're there, or if they change spots or disperse.
That leads into the whole, like, dragons card. So it's very interesting because Eludra is not just designing these, but she's also, like, thinking strategy on how to use them on a battlefield.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want to give Eludra all the credit.
I think that less on a battlefield, for me, like, for what these actually could be used for, is what they were used for in history, which is blowing down buildings.
Also people.
And people.
Yeah,
okay.
Literally launching cannonballs at people was a thing.
Okay.
Up until pretty recently.
I know.
So.
But just like breaking down fort walls and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
That's really most effective. Because that's a thing that's not moving and you know where it is and you shoot at it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yep. But let's go. Cannonballs. Let's go.
Okay. Now, before we move on, one last thing I do want to talk about here is I think it's really cute that Eludra, maybe cute's not the wrong word, but I'm interested in the fact that Eludra is going to share secrets with Matt that are not allowed to be shared.
Yeah.
And she thinks to herself, or she says out loud, actually, I'm the guild now. I can decide
who gets secrets. Yeah. Yeah.
And so she does, and she trusts Matt, and she shares things, and so he's kind of part of it.
Yeah, he is. Well, now we have a bit of an offer being made.
Well, and we get a weird thing where the dice kind of stop when she shares this information.
Yeah.
But then they start again.
Yeah, and he thinks, and we can kind of assume that this definitely was dice stopping in his head, because then we get later on that there's for sure multiple sets of dice going right now.
Hard for him to sleep.
Yeah.
Because the dice are so annoying and loud.
Yeah.
And I want Matt just to get checked out maybe for migraines or something.
Right.
Like maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just a little sick, bud.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah. It's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
You know?
I know. The fact is, he just really can't figure these stupid dice out, and they are getting more complicated.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that good on that act?
Well, we gotta go over the offer.
Oh, the offer. What offer?
Matt extends an offer.
Mm-hmm.
He says, hey, Aludra, I want you to come with me. When I go, I want you to come with me.
Mm-hmm. I for sure wrote that down.
Mm-hmm. And then he says, I know someone who would be happy to pay for as many of these dragons as you could possibly want.
Okay, I remember
and also,
now.
this person could have every bell founder basically in the entire world stop what they're doing right now and start making dragons exclusively. And then Aludra's like, well, who do you know who's so powerful and could do all this? And he's like, well, gotta keep it a secret because only Tom knows and Julian knows and like Ganon and probably Daman and the Aes Sedai and Vannon and then the Red Arms.
But
like,
it's the Dragon Reborn.
It's Dragon Reborn. I know the Dragon Reborn.
And Hugh Colors.
Yeah.
And
not naked.
Not naked this time.
This time.
But he notes next time that more naked.
You never know.
You never know. It seems like they have a lot of free time on their hands.
Yeah, just a little bit.
A lot of it. Whatever they're doing.
Playing away again.
You know what? You gotta make time for intimacy.
That's true.
It's the key.
It's important.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Side note too. Matt thinks to himself that if Rand doesn't want to like finance these dragons, like this invention, which he probably like he's literally financing entire libraries of inventions, so probably a weapon would be good. Matt thinks I can personally pay for a lot of them, and they're going to be very helpful to kill things that he's going to be fighting, like the Shanshin or Trollocs or like the last battle.
Yeah.
And he thinks, I'm going to pour every piece of gold I have into killing my enemies before they poke me full of holes.
Yeah.
So I like Matt's mentality of like, I'm not going to save my money. I'll finance everything I possibly can to keep
he's got the mentality of a gambler.
Yeah. Right? Like spend the money.
Because he didn't get rich by not spending his money. You know
Yeah.
those people who are like, oh, I save all my money and invest it all. I don't spend any of it. That's how I'm rich.
Yeah.
Not Matt.
Nope.
Opposite of that. Spends it all, gambles more. Spends it all, gambles more.
Get
It's
more
just
money
always
sometimes.
Always influx. He has so much money now, he like doesn't even know.
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
So it looks like dragons are on the table. At least hopefully.
Okay.
Soon.
Okay, cool.
Like if nothing goes wrong and everything goes right, it should be good.
I think that this is kind of like the slow game. Aludra's been working on this for a really long time, and with or without Matt, she's doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whether or not Matt actually ends up being involved, this is happening. It just depends on what scale.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's fair too.
Yeah.
And just to tie, so now we can end this first act, but Aludra does accept his offer and says, yep, I'm coming with you.
Yeah.
And you're going to make me my dragons.
Cool. Well, let's take a quick break. This is a nice spot to stop, I think.
Before the second act.
Before the second act, sure.
Wonderful.
Yeah, intermission, as
Love
they
it.
say. I've been to plays.
I totally know.
They totally know. This is where I get another glass of wine.
Yeah.
And maybe an ice cream.
Right.
A little popsicle.
Right. Perfect.
Yeah. Bag of chips.
You can't eat chips at a play.
No.
You've never been to a play.
In the intermission.
Oh, you just scarf it down in the...
They always have those little, like, fudgicles and, I don't know, the plays I've been to.
Yeah.
It's just a carnival. I don't know.
It's actually just my house and my freezer, so it's a movie.
Yeah, it's Hamilton on Disney.
Yeah.
That's what I...
And when they tell me to press pause, I press pause.
No, I've been to plays, guys. Okay. All right. Quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, here we go. Act 2.
All right.
Curtain up. Enter stage left.
Go.
Just saying all this... all the stagey words I know. All the theater people are like, oh my god, this is the worst.
Oh,
Please,
yeah.
Please stop. Never do this again. Okay. I'm so sorry.
Matt carves his bow dramatically on his wagon step.
Right, his new bow stave.
Yeah,
Right?
he's working on it.
He's working on it.
Right, so...
Okay, now enter Igyanin and Damin. They're coming out looking a little dressed up.
Like, literally in their best clothes.
Best clothes.
Yeah.
And they hurry off without saying anything.
Mm-hmm. Sneaky, sneaky.
And then they come back an hour later and say, we just got married.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Marriage
Yeah.
is what brings us together today.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of interesting, too, because Egyanin just almost died because Rena stabbed her.
Yes.
So maybe that played into some of the whole, like,
no,
let's get married now?
she says specifically why.
Okay, well...
Which is one of my favorite things I've read in a really long time.
Okay.
Can you pass me your book? I want to actually find the passage. Okay, so Matt thinks in his head, in his inside voice, he thinks, that's fucking crazy. Who would ever want to marry Egyanin?
Yeah.
But he says with his outside voice, congratulations! Wow, so happy for you.
That's people skills right there. That's good.
You know, Mr. and Mrs. Damin.
Yeah.
Right, or whatever. And then this is when Egyanin is like, nope, that's not my name. I'm not Mistress Damin.
It's Lylewyn Shipless.
I'm Lylewyn Shipless. It's a good name. It's given to me. It'll be my name forever. And I like it now because it's helped me come to a decision that I should have made weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so now, because her ranks are all lower and messed up and none of that other stuff that she used to think matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like, her life is so different than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's recognized that she just loves Damin and wants to marry him.
Let's do it. If you're going to be out of the Shanshan Empire, you got to be out all the way.
But here's the part that I like, and you probably know that I like this.
Okay.
But she looks at Damin and says, you understand why I can't take your name, right? And he says, no, but I will take you with any name you do care to use so long as you be my wife.
Yeah.
I told you that.
Yeah,
and I just love that so much. And for context, when we got married, I didn't change my last name.
Yeah.
We don't have the same last name, and I felt like I like my name, and I don't want to have to change it just because I got married. And you respected that, and I appreciate that about you. And that was just right for us and our situation. And I just felt like that was reflected here. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, well, I mean,
like that.
And, like, I've known you by your name for your entire life, so, like...
Well, not my entire life. That's dramatic, but...
The majority.
Now, yeah.
Yeah, you can't say not, but the majority. Over the majority of your life.
Oh,
jeez. But, like, that's who you've always been to me, so... Like, I'm gonna have to learn a new name? No thanks.
Well, and oh my god, so much paperwork.
Ugh, no thank you.
You're gonna get a new passport?
Ugh, no.
Yeah, right. You want me to do more paperwork? No. But also the meaningful thing.
Yeah. That's, yeah. Okay.
Okay, but I just wanted to point that out for me.
Anyways, all this has to do with Matt and the Egyanin and Damin thing. Mm-hmm. It's gonna complicate things a little bit here.
The bride and groom need their privacy.
Well, so he's out. He's out of the wagon.
He's like, I can't be in there.
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny. My first read, I thought that he got the tent for them.
Oh,
and he was going to get the wagon to himself. And I was like, yeah, do it, man. No. They get the wagon and he has a stupid tent with a dumb hard cot in it.
Yeah.
But
well, and he had to he had to buy the tent from like two other people.
Dudes,
yeah.
2 fire eaters.
And like move them over and then he gets the tent now.
Yep.
And it's really funny because there's like this whole explanation.
It's huge. It is so long. This explanation, they're so good at what they do. Even Tom thinks they're good. And they're so popular in the camp. It wasn't hard to find other places for them. But then, they wouldn't bargain because they just sighed at having to lose their cozy home. And oh my god, it just goes on.
But it's also, I think the funniest part is that now, because remember, Matt was supposed to be rescuing Egyanin from, like, whoever.
Oh, yeah.
And Damin was the servant.
Yeah.
So now, like, half of the circus performers have now thought and come up with their own theory that Matt trying to court Tuon was causing issues, and then Egyanin, like,
fell in love with
Damin. So, like, half of the people are on their side.
Well, half feel sorry for Matt.
Yeah.
And half blame Matt.
Exactly. For, like, him causing the situation to force Egyanin to, like... Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then the ones who support Matt are like, women are so complicated. It's So this entire backstory is like, what? None of this makes any sense.
The fact that we're even still trying to keep this up and she's still like wearing a wig.
I know,
that
it's
everybody
crazy.
knows is a wig. Everybody who was around who saw her stabbed, her wig fell off.
Yeah.
But don't question.
It wasn't the entire
listen,
circus, though,
if
you know?
women want to wear wigs,
Yeah.
let them and don't say anything about it. How about? Just let them do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole story's dumb and it's collapsed now.
Yep.
But now, at least Matt is free to actually court Tuon in the public eye.
Which is why he takes his tent and sets up his new tent facing Tuon's wagon.
Well, at first he did it by the Aes Sedai tent, but then that was when he was waking up to them channeling.
Yeah.
The medallion would go cold, and he hated that, so he moved away from them.
Yeah.
And towards Tuon, and then Tuon's like, "Are you keeping an eye on me?" And he's like, "I just want to catch glimpses of your pretty face."
Yeah.
Which is partly true.
It is at least partially true.
And remember Naram and Lopin and Talmanis and those guys?
Well, Naram and Lopin are still...
Because listen, they haven't been mentioned in a really long time.
Yeah.
And here's your reminder that they exist.
Yeah.
And they're here.
Well, Talmanis isn't.
No.
The body
Naram
servants, yeah.
and Lopin are here, and
The
Talmanis
manservants.
is maybe on his way to somewhere where they are.
Somehow.
Which, you know what I think
Yeah.
this is? Because we haven't heard about it in a
Yeah.
really long time. I think that this is the foreshadow
Ooh, it's gonna happen.
that the meeting is coming soon.
Like it.
Yeah, it's just a little sprinkle,
Mm-hmm.
like a little paragraph.
Did you forget about Talmanis
About
and
how-
the band? Yeah.
Lopin is like, Talmanis is missing me so much. I do the best mending of clothes. Okay, Noel's gonna stop by to tell some stories. Oliver's gonna stop by to play Snakes and Foxes, which is going to come up later. We're gonna talk about some foxes later.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yep.
And then Thomas stops by, and Julian stops by for reports, and Matt eventually has to tell basically everybody to stop talking about Rand, because it's just too much for his brain.
Oh, yeah.
Too many colors,
All the time.
all the time.
She's naked so much.
He's
all
kind
the
of
time.
a little bit figuring out that he can see exactly what Rand is doing in that moment.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
He figures like, oh, that's weird, but it must be like real time
Like, it's
information.
not prophecy, it's not, it's not like foretelling or something, He's not like, oh, I foresee that Min and Rand are gonna have sex. Like,
Oh, amazing. Foretelling. Who are you?
Yeah,
Nicola?
exactly.
Oh, amazing. I foretell you will be hungry later today.
I was gonna say, I foretell Brett will make me a snack after this.
Wrong. Not gonna come true now.
Oh, man.
Not making wishes here.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is he's figuring out that it's
Yeah.
what kind of power this is. But it's just a lot for him, and this is where we get that Min and Rand are continuing to do it frequently.
Good for them.
Because we don't really know about Min getting pregnant. We know about Elaine is currently pregnant with twins.
Yeah.
We know at some point, in some capacity,
Yep.
Avienda is going to have 4 children.
Yeah, super weird situation.
But
We're
we
not
don't
really sure.
really know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything about Min.
Huh?
They're doing it lots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all.
There you go.
Just
That's-
throwing it out there.
That's the update.
That is what that is. Oh, also there were about 1,000 rumors about Rand floating around every countryside, from inn to inn, whatever. Nobody knows where he is. People think he's dead. People think he's alive.
It's the same stuff.
It's
It's the same stuff we've always heard.
Recap, though.
Yeah.
All right, so now Matt is going to continue to have lunch with Tuon every day. And when he started showing up earlier in the evening, he gets dinner.
Yeah, well, he has this whole theory, too, right? It's make a woman feed you, and then that's going to make them like you more.
I don't
So
know.
the more meals that they feed you, the more that they're going to like you.
Right,
It's
but
kind of like along those
Selusha
lines.
who, makes the plate for him, and they,
Yeah,
eat
but it's
together, but...
You have to eat together. And I mean, there is some, truth to it, I suppose. Like,
Sure.
share meals with each other, and that's relationship building time, and that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
It's like he's getting that quality time, and she's not shutting him out.
No, absolutely no.
So-
No, she is not. But we do get that Tuon and Selusha sometimes don't let him in, because they are not just a little stitious.
Oh.
They are
no, they're
super
superstitious.
superstitious.
Oh, man. Whole lot of stuff about
a lot
omens.
of omens.
Yeah. So I got some of them here.
Okay, because the last time we really heard about the omens was when we were first introduced to Tuon.
Yeah. And they have, like, a lot of signs, and everything means something, and they take them very seriously.
And even when they're wrong, they're like, "Oh, Solutia must have counted the ants wrong."
So I have them. So they saw birds circling more than once to predict a storm, and then there was a whole thing where they drew a finger through a line of ants to count how long it takes for the ants to rejoin the line, and then they predicted the weather based on that. And then when it doesn't quite work out perfectly, then Tuon says, "Oh, obviously Solutia miscounted the ants."
Yeah.
It's not that the omen was wrong, it's that we miscounted.
It's that Solutia's dead wrong.
And my favorite part is Tuon tells Matt he has to learn these ways, like how to read the omens, because she doesn't want him to be ignorant.
Oh.
You have to learn it, buddy.
Gotta learn her culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
But he's like, this is...
This is crazy.
This is horseshit. Like, there's no...
Yeah, it's like, I guess there was some clouds, but it wasn't like a giant storm.
And then there's one where it's like, you can't come in today because I'm not allowed to see men on the day that I see the mushrooms growing on the stump. Or like, it's just so dumb.
So many crazy things.
So many things. Okay, I just made that one up. That wasn't in the book.
That wasn't, but it
that's
was good.
A good omen, hey?
Yeah, I like it.
So if you ever see mushrooms growing on a stump, you're not allowed to see men.
Good.
Entertain a man friend for stones and dinner.
Ooh, good.
Yes.
Even better.
Yeah,
more specific. Yeah.
All right. So now, one evening that they're together, we're going to get that Tuon asks Matt, "What do you know of the Dragon Reborn?" And Matt's like, "Oh my god, I can't get rid of this stupid freaking guy. He chokes on his wine. And the colors swirl, but he's like trying to get rid of the colors.
Yeah, it's a very abrupt question, so I mean, it does catch him off a little bit too.
And then Tuon's like, "Well, he must kneel to the Crystal Throne before Tarmangaiden. The prophecies are very clear on that."
Yeah, we've got that before too.
Yes, we've heard that one. And at this point, we're led to believe that the entire Empire and the Crystal Throne is dead.
Yeah.
Except for Tuon.
Well, I mean, Tuon is the
right.
Empress, basically, like in line.
We also know that Rand potentially has a meeting set with Tuon.
That's true.
And there might be a situation...
Yeah.
Like a my wife situation.
Yeah.
Where Rand doesn't kneel to the...
He's like, "Oh wait, my boot's untied. Let me kneel down and get that real quick."
Or he might do one of those... one knee kneel bows.
Love it.
To like a queen.
Yeah.
To show respect.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. We could do like 50 more of these scenarios where it's like bowing before the crystal. Like, what does that mean?
Kneeling before,
yeah.
I like the shoes untied business. That's funny. So I feel like it's not completely out of the realm of possibilities. Because before, when I heard that, I was like, no.
Yeah, and it's like, is Rand legitimately gonna
never
kneel before the Crystal Throne?
Like, in the way that she's believing it to be?
Yeah.
Because it's all in the interpretation.
Yeah.
It's all
very much so,
in that.
very much so.
But my favorite thing that she says here is that it's super urgent that she finds out who sounded the horn of Valir.
Yeah, and like maybe suspecting that it was... like, the Dragon Reborn.
Right, because who else would do that?
Exactly.
And she knows all about the reports from Falma. They're very disturbing. And it's super important to secure the person who blew the horn.
Yeah, and Matt's like, "Well, good thing I didn't blow the horn of Valir."
Oh, who would do that?
Not me.
Oh, so you think it's been found?
Oh, good acting.
Oh. And she's like, "Yes." Yes, I think it's been found. And
fantastic acting. Yeah. We've done it.
Right. But then, there's that whole situation where Matt potentially died and lived again. Yeah. And did that release him from the horn blowing situation?
Yeah. And does it matter if you just, blow it again? That's the other thing. Oh. He could still be just like the horn sounder again.
Again. Oh, especially if he thinks that it has to be him.
And
right?
if everyone does.
Yeah.
Like, who really knows about the whole...
Not many. Enough, though. You know?
Well, do you even know which time we're talking about here?
The time he sounded the horn at Falma.
No, the dying time.
The dying time?
The dying and living again.
I think that's the Tree of Lifetime.
Yeah. And not the Ravine lightninged him and killed him.
Oh, it might be that
And then
one.
Rand Bale fired him back into existence.
It could be. 6 of one,
yeah,
half a dozen of the other.
that's what they say.
Does it matter?
I mean,
Which
does
one
it?
it is?
Does it matter?
No.
Probably
it's
not.
another one of those things that I don't really need to understand. I just need to know it's kind of a thing that happened.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we move on.
Yeah, that's fair.
You want to move on to talking about more presents?
Oh, what act are we in? Is this phase 2, right?
I think that we might.
Are we in phase 3?
Well, there's no phases.
Phase
now?
or no? That's like act.
Act.
Okay.
Act 3 or Act 2, Scene 2.
Now you're just making it up. You don't even know. Okay.
I don't know.
Anyways, we're like in the middle-ish.
We are in the last third of the chapter.
Roughly.
We're moving into the next part. And conveniently, I need a bit of a drink top-up.
Yep. Let's do it, and then we'll come back.
I'm going to go do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are. Let's get into it, whatever it is. An act, a phase, a scene.
Yeah.
It's the next segment
Here we go.
of the chapter. For a few days after Matt brought Tuon those flowers, the presents,
Yeah.
he stopped doing it, which kind of threw her off, and he was starting to detect some disappointment, which, if Matt is detecting disappointment,
It's very visible.
it's super obvious,
Yeah.
I think, because he's not the best read on people. He's like, what are they talking about over there? I don't know. I think he's actually probably okay, but...
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right, where he can be a little bit like missing some signals.
Yeah. So he knows it's time to do something else nice.
Well, that's his plan, because he bought the horse a while ago.
Yeah.
Like this
4
was
days or
a
something?
planned waiting on the gifts until she was disappointed. Like he's maneuvering, he's playing the game. This is all
Okay.
part of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to show up before dawn because it's not really safe for them to like go out in the middle of the day to go on like walks or rides or anything like that, just because they don't want to get caught and whatever. So he shows up and tells Tuon to cover her eyes because he has a surprise. And she goes, "Ooh, I love surprises."
Who doesn't?
And Solution's like, "I hate surprises."
Hate it, yeah, for sure. She's bodyguard.
Surprises get you murdered.
Right.
Okay, but anyway, Tuon closes her eyes, and then he brings out his horse and the new razor / zebra.
Yep, not a zebra.
Not a zebra. And then he tells Tuon, "She's yours, and would you like to go for a ride?"
There we go.
And this time, there's no question that the dice stop, but it's only one set of dice that stops,
Yeah.
and other dice keep rolling, and
Yeah.
he knows how to decipher them in his head
So
now.
that's why the last one was for sure like dice stopping,
But then they kept...
but there's still more going.
Mm-hmm.
So now we just have like some going and stopping all the time.
Perfect.
And we don't
Good.
know why, and it's not for like even necessarily like dangerous or life-threatening things. It's just like critical life events, I guess. Like who's even the arbiter of that? I don't know. Who's deciding what's a dice event?
The pattern.
I know, but like why? Like what's the
The pattern pull. Fate.
right?
It's certainly amping up because last book, dice stop, dice roll, dice stop, dice roll.
Yeah.
But here, no.
Dice all the time.
Even more. Dice are stopping, but sucks to be you, still rolling.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so they talk a bit about horses, and Tuon really likes this horse. And then she says, "Where's Solution's horse?"
Right? Because if we're going to go riding.
Yeah. And then Matt was like, fine. It's right here. But then apparently one of his guys who was holding the horse for him knew that he wasn't going to get away with this.
Yeah.
And Matt was like, well, I'm going to try.
Well, he wants to ride by just the two of them.
I know, but no go.
Not going to happen.
No go. They need a chaperone.
That's what it is, right?
Well, and Tuon needs a bodyguard. I
That's
think
true,
more
too.
than the chaperone piece.
Does she? Matt's the best bodyguard you could possibly have.
No.
Oh my
I don't even
goodness.
think we've seen what Solution can actually do.
That's true.
I don't think Matt's actually... Well, he's good with his knives. We know that.
Yeah.
But now she just has double bodyguards, so...
Are you going to try and say that Matt's not a very good fighter?
No, I'm not going to say that. But I'm going to not downplay how good Solution is.
That's
how about
fair
that?
too. Okay, that's
How
good
about that?
too. I like that.
How
I
about
like
that? Okay. All right, so we're going to go out on a ride. Matt, Tuon, and Solution all together.
So romantic.
And at the beginning, they have the road all to themselves, except a few random people.
And I don't even remember reading what it says in the book, actually, but I'm like 80% sure that Solution is probably like in the middle between them.
Oh, that's just how you picture it?
I don't know if she is, but
I
like...
think at one point, Matt and two on are together, and
Okay.
Solution's, like, behind them, but then she, like, catches up.
And, like...
And there's, like, several times where Solution's behind because her horse isn't as fast.
Nice.
Or something like
Okay.
that.
I like
Anyway,
that, too.
so we're going down the road, and then we see a Tinker caravan showing up, heading down the road, like, towards them, I think.
Yeah, and we actually... so the Tinker caravan is coming down the road towards them, like, heading south towards Abu Dar.
Yeah, and in case you forgot,
Yeah.
Tinker's super colorful.
Right. And if you forgot, we actually got a couple of hints a few times that Matt has seen lots and lots and lots of Tinker caravans heading towards Abu Dar.
I don't remember that.
We got a couple of hints about that.
Okay, so Matt nods at them as they start to make their way past, but then out of freaking nowhere,
Yeah.
Tuon pulls a crazy move.
It's pretty crazy.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
It doesn't...
Tell everyone what it is.
Like,
What's the crazy move?
She just takes off. She takes off on her super fast horse that Matt just bought
Yeah,
her.
so she turns her horse and gallops off into the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Matt's like, what the fuck is happening? And he just takes off after her.
Well, and Solution doesn't seem to know either, because she, like, takes off after her.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa!
And her horse is, like, way slower and way worse.
Yeah.
And at least Matt is trying to keep up, but the way that she's riding, like, through the forest, she's, like...
Super dangerous.
Dangerous!
It's
Matt's, like...
dangerous for the horse,
You're
dangerous
literally
for
gonna
her.
kill your horse. You're gonna kill yourself. Anyway, he has no idea what's happening. He thinks that she's just being too on and, like, causing more problems.
Yeah.
For fun.
And, like, she kind of seems to be.
I know. I actually had a glimmer of she's taking off.
Really? Now?
Yeah.
Like, after all this?
She has a horse now.
She could have got a horse before.
Not really. Not really.
Okay.
They're kind of set up for it. She's kind of set up here, I think, better than she has been for an escape attempt in a while. Because when she's still with the circus, she's not making any sort of attempt because... I don't think that she actually wants Matt to get in trouble for her capture.
Okay.
And if she were to, like, go to Shanchen in front of Matt and be like, help me, I'm Tuon.
Yeah.
Right? Matt's getting in like, everybody's getting in a lot
Well,
of
except
trouble.
she's literally the daughter of the Nine Moons, and she could tell them, don't do anything, and they would obey her commands.
I suppose. You're right about
like,
that.
the Shanshan are so strictly
I don't know.
rigid on their...
I can't tell you why in this moment
No, I
was
get
like,
that, yeah.
is she taking off now?
It's
Because
super weird.
She's away from the circus and everything. She's away from people. She has her own horse. So Lucia has her own horse. And maybe she thinks that she actually can get away from Matt.
Yeah, I guess so.
At some point. But I was like, I don't get it. It didn't make sense to me that this is what, like, where she was going and why. And it didn't make sense because that's not actually what's happening.
No.
That's why. So she eventually stops, but I didn't know if she eventually stopped because she realized Matt was keeping up with her and wasn't going to let her go.
Okay.
Like, maybe she thought she could get away.
Yeah, maybe. I don't have a lot to add to this right now.
Because
so.
it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's super weird. Everything about this situation, it's all kind of weird.
But she's just like a weird game player, so...
That's true, too.
She's like testing him.
And she tested the horse out to make sure she could pick a name for the horse. And she did pick a name for the horse.
Which we'll talk about.
It's the worst.
But first, I do think it's interesting her little tests for him to see if he'll make a good husband. And maybe at this point she's testing his, like, riding skills.
That's crazy, though.
Because you know how she's like, either you got lucky or you have a good eye for horses.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have a good eye. And she's like, maybe.
But go on this super dangerous, forest adventure?
Yeah, she's kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's fair, too.
She's very impulsive.
It all leads back to crazy and impulsive.
Even then, after they stop, and he's like, what the fuck was that? She goes, maybe you do know horses.
Yeah, that's true.
It feels now like a test.
Yeah, looking for more signs, more omens.
No, right. Okay, but because Solucia's so far behind on her stupid slow horse, they have a moment alone together.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And then this is where she's like, I've decided to name my horse Akeen or something. And I was like, okay, what's that? No.
Yeah, it means...
Why do we need another horse named Swallow?
Yeah, I know.
2.
Yeah.
In this
File's
series.
horse is also named
I'm aware.
Swallow.
Yeah, no, I was going to tell you that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to quiz me.
Oh. No, it sounded like you knew.
I already knew.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand. And he's like, oh, a good name. I'm like, why? Why is Swallow a good name.
I feel like I need to do a
horse.
fun fact. I need to do some research, and it's like, is that one of the 10 traditional names for horses or something like
Right.
something weird?
Because like something like parent has like what, stepper,
Yeah.
right? So like a swallow's a bird.
Yeah.
Is it a bird that flies fast?
Maybe. I don't know.
There are other things that go fast. Name your horse Cheetah.
Cheetah. Yeah.
That goes fast.
Or like that one guy that one time, Lion.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Lionheart, wasn't it?
No,
It
just
was
Lion.
just Lion.
Just Lion.
There was a Lionheart too.
I don't think so.
Elaine's maybe at one point.
Maybe. Possibly. I don't know. Horse
I
names
like
are one of those things.
I like Night Lily. What
Yeah.
was it? Was that what it was?
Maybe.
The one that Swan was like, it tried to kill me.
Yeah.
I think Matt has the most original horse name.
Pips?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
Because
name.
it's dice.
Yeah, dice.
Right?
Makes
It's
sense.
like it actually like it means something. It has nothing to do with like other animals or how fast the horse can go.
Yeah.
It's just a unique name.
I'm gonna throw a stat out there. It's probably like the most common Wheel of Time fandom animal name for like their own pets.
Swallow?
Pips.
Oh, other people
Not
have
Every other Wheel of Time
I
fans
thought you
name their animals Pips. It's a good
Oh.
name. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
cute.
good. It's unique. It's like fandom,
Yeah,
and you won't really find it outside the fandom for like an animal name that I've ever seen.
that's true.
But
Yep.
yeah, but not Swallow.
No, please don't name your cat Swallow. I will. If you named your cat Swallow because of this, like, let me know.
Yeah. And sorry for ragging on you so
But-
hard.
Tell me what. Like,
You
I want
deserved
to know
it, though.
why. I need to know
Yeah.
why. And
Yeah.
what did everybody in your life think of that?
Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's a thing.
All right. I knew we were going to talk about that for a while.
All right, so they're in the middle of this forest, and Tuon's like, "Hey, where is this place?"
Yeah. And Matt's like, I have no idea. And then
Oh,
he looks
wait.
around and he goes, oh, I know exactly.
I know exactly
In
what-
many different lifetimes, in
Yeah.
many different forms. This
Shoot.
is an old place that used to be.
Yeah, it's the crumbled statues, and he's like, "Oh, I was a guy,
And hills.
and I died right over there. Shoot,
Oh, yeah.
I really hate remember." But actually, there's
this
a really
is important, yeah.
there's an important like undertone that's going on here for Matt's thought process on the eel fin.
He's figuring shit out.
Yeah, so he has a thought like, how do the eel fin gather memories from a corpse?
Yeah.
So how did I, on my deathbed, like, how did that memory from me dying in that past life or whatever get taken, given to the eel fin, and then given to me
Yeah.
when I went through
Well,
the doorway?
he's thinking of these memories as, like, super tangible things,
Yeah,
right? Whereas, I don't know, I just attributed it to magic.
well, yeah, but I mean, even magic has to have some logic to it.
I guess.
So that's kind of where he's going, because clearly the person who died here didn't then go to the eel fin to get his memory scraped. So that means that the eel fin are able to scrape memories
I remember.
from your entire life.
I remember what my Harry Potter reference was.
Oh no, even your future memories. So what's
Oh,
the Harry
right.
Potter reference?
Well, okay, so I don't have anything for future memories.
Okay.
But just memory collecting.
Oh,
It's memory collecting.
the pensive?
Well, the pensive makes
Pensive?
you be able to view others' memories.
Oh, but you can like take your memories out of your brain.
yeah.
Yeah, but again, that's
Or
only stuff
if
that's
you're
happened.
Crying.
Your tears.
Your tears. Take them. That's
Ah.
Snape while he's dying.
Perfect.
Oops, I hope I didn't spoil that for someone.
Oh no, well you had like 20 years.
Ah,
so.
shit. Sorry. Oh
Well,
my
I mean,
God.
you had enough time to finish this series. What are we doing?
I know.
Okay.
That's okay. We've talked so much about Harry Potter, but yeah, that's the reference.
Okay.
And like collecting memories, but it's a soft one. It's a soft reference.
It is, but it's like doubled with the one from earlier. So let me just finish a couple more of Matt's thoughts here, and then we can
Sure.
set that up. So Matt also has some thoughts about the eel fin. They
Yeah.
clearly don't come to like this side of the door frame
He says very often.
very often or for more than a few minutes at a time, because again, the only way he can figure that he got hanged from the tree, right, was by them, I guess, bringing him out and
Physically
physically
doing it.
hanging him and then going back through the doorway.
Right. Which is a stretch for me. I just like think that they can zip zap. They have like crazy weird magic, and
Maybe. Yeah, we don't.
They can transport you probably wherever the fuck they want. You know,
Yeah.
they have their own weird stuff.
But then he does have some thoughts about how in the memories he's sometimes like close to his age, and then he's also sometimes like
Right.
super old.
Yeah.
but there's never anything or any memories from childhood. So what are the odds of that? Because it doesn't really understand.
I think really good. So
why?
Okay, here's the thing. The game of Snakes and Foxes you play when you're a child.
Sure.
And we've got so much mention. And so this is what I was thinking about, because Oliver loves playing Snakes and Foxes, but we've heard over and over and over and over again, it's been drilled into our heads that once you reach a certain age, you stop playing the game
because
once you realize you can't win.
Without
cheating.
Yeah.
And so at some point, that's when they can get you. I don't know.
They can get you?
Yeah, because the game of Snakes and Foxes is exactly equivalent to the eelfin and nailfin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
in some weird capacity. And so I don't have like super definitive answers for you.
Yeah.
But I do have a connection between children believing they can still win.
For sure.
And then becoming old, jaded adults and being susceptible to whatever they do.
So also consider this, because he has one more thought, and he wonders...
Does that have something to do with their savor? You know how they, like, taste you?
Well, that's the thing, is like they clearly, like, do something, and, like, they take your memories, or, like, they get your brain somehow.
And they can see through your eyes. That's what he's
that's what he thinks. He's like, hey, maybe the Snakes and Foxes are, like, functionally in my brain right now, and they can see through my eyes right now, which is how they could, like, in real time collect memories as they happen.
Right. Memory chip.
Yeah, well,
the cloud. It's important to the cloud. I think that thinking that the eelfin can, like, are in his brain right now is a bit of a weird stretch, and I think a little bit crazy.
Sure. And then the question, too, is, like, what's the connection between all the people he has memories of? How are these people chosen? Right. They're clearly not like, oh, Matt's past selves. They're not like his soul in a bunch of bodies.
And now that's clear. But when we first got them, you had lots of questions for me about what this was. But they're also from a very specific time frame in existence, right? All battle generals and people who fought, like men who fought. And like that's what it really typically seems to be.
Well, I mean, those are the memories that he was given.
That's what
least.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's even more similarities between what he was given.
Yeah.
And why. Yeah.
Okay. Lots of things to think about.
So, other people who see them, do they get memories? Or do you think that they keep them all for themselves? Like, why do they have these memories? If that's what we're believing. So, if Matt's figuring this all out...
Yeah. You're asking good questions right now.
Is Matt figuring this all out right now just to tell us actually what this is? Or is this Matt's just like crazy thought process and it's not true at all and weird?
I think he's thinking good thoughts and you're asking good questions right now.
Yeah.
Like, how does it all connect? What's the link?
Because
I would bet that not everybody who gets to go, because again, he got the memories because he asked for the holes to be filled.
Oh yeah. And they're like, all right, we have some memories.
Yeah, it's like we can fill the holes in your memory, and it's like, boom, there's a bunch of fill holes in your memory. Not exactly what you asked for, but it's kind of like a monkey's paw situation with them, right?
Uh-huh.
So, like, if you ask for something bad might happen.
Right.
Right? You don't get exactly what you wished for situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, things to think about.
I don't know. It makes my brain hurt.
That's good.
It's good that it makes my brain hurt?
Yeah, because,
You know what I do, though, with things that make my brain hurt?
No.
I stop thinking about them.
Okay, and then the next time they come up.
It doesn't make me think about them more and try to, like, fix the puzzle. I'm like, nope, never gonna understand this. Next.
Okay.
You know?
You say that now. Let's move on.
Yeah.
To the final act. Or
I
phase.
Think scene.
Or stage.
Because we're still in the same scene.
Right, okay.
Like, we're still in the same here.
Solution finally comes.
Yeah, no. This is, like, still we're in the same scene. Okay, I think. I don't even actually know. Now, Solution comes up. And she's like, those people from those wagons, they're following us.
With dogs.
With dogs.
And
they're hunting dogs.
Yeah.
So we gotta be super careful. We gotta run away. We gotta avoid them. We have horses. We can go faster. Let's go. Let's hide.
Yeah.
And Matt's like, no.
They're tinkers.
Yeah.
They're not gonna do anything. They're just coming to see if they can be helpful because they're tinkers.
Right.
Like, there's a 0% chance this is gonna be a bad thing for us.
Right, which is fine. But also my scary don't trust anybody brain is like scared don't trust anybody.
Ooh, fake tinkers.
Not fake tinkers, but also tinkers can talk, Yeah,
that's true.
Like, you're clearly with two Shanshan. You don't know what they're doing or what they want, and the more people that see you doing really weird things together, and with your super identifiable horse,
Zebra,
right?
Right?
The more chances that somebody might talk to somebody else, and then now you're found out.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Especially considering the amount of people we know now are on the hunt.
Yes,
for
For Tuon, yeah.
And then we find out they're like, oh, we're going to see the Shan-Chen. We need protection from them.
Yeah.
We're gonna go get protection from them.
Yeah, that's basically how it ends, because they have like
Yeah.
this little conversation.
Yeah.
And there's a whole explanation, because Matt, this is when he's like, oh, I've seen a bunch of Tinkers heading towards Abu Dar. And then the Tinkers are like, well, we're heading that way because there's safety in Shan-Chen rule, because we know, like, there's not, like, bandits, you can't just attack people, they've got really firm laws, and that is good for Tinkers who are basically at the mercy of whoever they come across.
Right.
So it makes sense that a bunch of the traveling folk are going to Shan-Chen lands.
Right. And what's interesting, though, when they first come up to each other, is the Tinkers are like, oh, you came to us? Weird.
Yeah.
And then they immediately separate the women
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Matt, because they're worried that the women are being taken advantage of or
Yeah.
something, or that they're in some kind of danger from
Yeah,
Matt.
so they'll
and
just,
that
like,
they
form
were
a
running
circle.
away from Matt or something.
Well, Tuon literally, like, took off
Yeah.
at the moment that she had an opportunity to, so
Yeah.
it would look super weird.
Yeah, oh yeah. It is weird. It's super weird. That's what I'm saying. Stop doing super weird things where people can see you. But then, once they're separated, they kind of understand that the women are happy, they're laughing, they're talking, girl talk, and Matt's like, oh my god, what are they talking about over
Well,
there?
clearly Tuon and Solution, like, say something about something, and they all burst out laughing. And,
And he's like, oh god.
women, complex and such.
Right.
So.
Okay, so in the end, Matt warns the Tinkers to be careful, because safety comes at a price, and then he's like, and what happens if the women around you can channel? Because, you know, that's bad. And they're like, it's fine. We'll just send them to Tar Valon.
Yeah, it's like, no, you won't.
Yeah.
No, you won't.
Yeah. Nope.
But, I mean, that's kind of the
And
whole...
they'll test all of you, and probably there's a percentage of you that have the spark.
Yep.
And will be collared.
But that's their whole, like, group safety thing.
Yeah.
And they will
Comes
still
at a
go
price.
there. They'll
Yeah.
still go there.
Yeah,
so.
they will. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And then that's basically where this whole thing ends.
Yeah. A lot of things happened. Kind of left on, like, a, you know, I guess
I
we're
know.
okay.
I'm trying to think of any plot point that was super significant. Like, in it, nothing.
Yeah. It's
You
a
know?
bunch of stuff that needed to happen that happened. And now we're
And,
just
like,
going to move on.
needed is, like, a strong word. But
Yeah.
that's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. And next episode, we are just reading one chapter. Chapter 9.
Chapter 9. But we're going to record that, before we leave.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
In the midst of the packing. So you guys will get to hear all about how that's going.
Yes.
Okay. Well, now before you go ahead and run off to get married by the village wisdom, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's it for us for now. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted, edited, and produced by Dani and Brett, with Passion Socks, Cody Fouts, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jonathan Reese, Jamie Young, Megan Smiley, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Charlie Haz, Adam, Hannah Green, Marta Thier, Michelle Forbes, MKM, and Antoine Benoit. With music by Audionautics. Be sure to check out our Patreon page if you're interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. Find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really makes a huge difference in helping other people find us. So be sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening because this really is part of the pattern now.